and veteran Von Miller to help their pass rush. It is a one-year deal, according to Adam Schefter. Miller is an 8-time Pro Bowler, a former Super Bowl MVP, but still put up 6 sacks last year for the Buffalo Bills. He goes to Washington to give some help to that Commanders team. Let's stick with the Commanders as we get into some NFC East burning questions. Dominique Foxworth, are the Commanders Super Bowl contenders, or will they come back down to earth this season?
Well, I mean, I think it boils down to that quarterback. He was amongst the best quarterbacks in football. Not for a rookie, not for a guy from LSU, just amongst the best quarterbacks in all of the NFL. If he's going to be that good or close to that good next year, then I do think the Commanders are a Super Bowl contender, especially adding some more talent like Laramie Tunsil to protect Jane Daniels on the left tackle and Deebo Samuels to make some big plays out of nothing. I think the team, they may not be at the top of the NFC, but they're a team that you have to respect.
Kevin Clark.
They're contenders. Jaden Daniels, for as amazing as he was last year, left some meat on the bone as far as deep passing last year. We saw it at LSU. We didn't see it to the degree we thought we would at the NFL level. Cliff Kingsbury, we know, is being able to scheme stuff up. He's done that in the past. Peter knows that better than anybody. But I look at this addition with Von Miller, and I think about January, because Von Miller last year was top 5 in the entire league in pressure rate among all players, but he had less than 200 pass snaps. He's not going to give you 70 snaps a game. He's like an aging big man who joins a contender, gives you 20 minutes off the bench. Okay?
Give us a comparison. Who we got?
It's not Cavs Shack, it's Sun Shack. Okay? Phoenix Sun Shack.
Okay.
It's not Heat Shack, it's not Celtic Shack, it's Sun Shack. Okay?
I would only tell you to watch out right now, because if you say the wrong thing, Shaq may...
We say that with love.
Yes.
We say that with love, Shaq.
We'll punch you in the face.
But
Yes,
what
he
this
will.
means is you unleash him on January 15th. You unleash him on January 22nd. You don't worry about October with Von Miller. This is a difference maker. A key 3rd or 4th down in January will be decided by Von Miller.
Harry, we're all in on the Commanders. Is there a reason to put any wet towel on this thing?
1,000%. It's because of their run defense. That was 30th last year in 2024. And you look at the 6 losses that the Commanders had last year, including the playoffs, they allowed 162 rush yards per game. Now, that's daunting because the team in your division, the team that won the Super Bowl last year, is the Philadelphia Eagles. And what do they do best? They run the football. So you have to figure out a way to get better in that capacity so you can be Super Bowl contenders in 2025.
The Eagles had 7 rushing touchdowns against the Washington Commanders in an NFC Championship game. Trust me, the Commanders have been feeling it. Damian Woody, last night the Eagles dominated at the ESPYs. If you didn't watch it, this team cleaned up. They won Best Team. Their running back Saquon Barkley won Best NFL Player, and he also won Best NFL Play for that one. Harry Douglas, can the Eagles ride Saquon like they did last year for 18 weeks, then right into the playoffs and come out and be Super Bowl champions playing that style of football?
Of course they can, just like a cowboy rides a horse at a rodeo.
Okay.
Of course they, or I should say a bull.
Sure.
And it's because of the offensive line, right? The Eagles have the #1 offensive line in the country. They were 2nd in rushing. They had the #1 rusher in Saquon Barkley. And here's my logic. You do the exact same thing until someone proves that they can stop you from running the football. There's nothing that's more demoralizing than an offense that says, we're running the football, and defense, you can do nothing about it.
Damian Woody, you are an offensive lineman, and you watch that offensive line, and it has to excite you on Sunday seeing the way they play. Can they do that again, or is the rest of the league going to be able to catch up and say, hey, we know how their style is, let's make Jalen Hurts beat us instead?
It's really not. They can do it again because it's not necessarily scheme. They're good at all the most important positions in football. That's what makes the Philadelphia Eagles so special. I always say the game of football isn't very complicated. Okay, when you're able to capture and dominate the line of scrimmage, chances are you're going to go a long way in the season. So when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're great up front. Okay, Saquon Barkley is obviously outstanding. You know, you got a quarterback that can run, which helps your numbers game in the running game. And then obviously they're good in the defensive front. So when you add all that up, you're talking about a Philadelphia Eagles team that's going to have an opportunity to repeat this upcoming season.
Even the way I posed the question felt like it was a shade at Jalen Hurts. I said, can they win this way, or are other teams going to make Jalen Hurts beat?
Eagles
kind of the
feel everything shade.
Eagles fans feel that, but you do the work, you talk to everyone, and also you've seen Jalen Hurts' game progress, right?
Yes. So first of all, I want to correct you on one thing. The Eagles didn't dominate last night. Shane Gillis did. He was the winner of last night. Eagles a distant number 2.
I was offended. No.
When I think about this Eagles team, I think about Jalen Hurts doing everything necessary to win. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I wouldn't put, we did this with Orlovsky a couple days ago. I don't put him on the top tier of quarterbacks. People got mad at me, but I'm looking at a guy who is the best quarterback in football against the blitz, who has a great completion percentage on throws beyond the sticks, who finds A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and is able to use his legs. He does so much. Yes, he has the lowest drop rate with his receivers in the NFL. Yes, he's helped by a great roster, but he is getting to be underappreciated. I thought the ranking in Jeremy Fowler's list, which obviously reflects NFL GMs and coaches and scouts and all that, was way too low. He is becoming underappreciated, and there needs to be recognition for what he does to help them win.
So let me say this. When you talk about Jalen Hurts being so efficient versus the blitz last year, that tells me that he had growth in 2023 because he was not good in that capacity in 2023. 2024, he was. So now when you have a ferocious run game, the defense has to commit more guys down in the box. Well, guess who was one of the best receivers versus man coverage last year? A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. And also, watch the Super Bowl if you want to see a masterclass in how to handle the blitz. Spags was bringing those extra rushers. Every time it happened, Jalen Hurts was going deep. He wasn't checking down. He was going deep, and that made all the difference. He was hanging in the pocket and finding those guys.
A lot of times I'm asked, what do you think of Sirianni? I say, Sirianni's the right coach for that team. And what do you think of Jalen Hurts? It's okay to say he might not be Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen if you're picking a quarterback. He's the right quarterback.
Say that again, though, Peter, because people need to hear that. It's okay that Jalen Hurts that people don't think he's elite. He gets the job done.
Yeah.
He has a Super Bowl ring on his resume. I don't understand why so many people are bent out of shape when Jalen Hurts isn't bent out of shape.
Oh, but Jalen Hurts is in Greece with Michael Jordan. He's on a yacht. He's
smoking a cigar.
And he's fine.
With his Kango hat.
With the Kangol hat. The Cowboys were not fine last year. They completely missed the playoffs, and Dak was injured. Well, Dak's coming back. And 2 years ago, Dak was everything in Dallas. Damian Woody, do the Cowboys need a superhuman MVP-like effort out of Dak to be a playoff team this year?
I think if they can't fix their rush defense, yes, they will, because the one thing about it is you can't stop the run, you're going to be in a lot of shootouts. And so for me, when Dak Prescott plays a full slate of games and he's healthy, usually that equates to the Cowboys as one of the top offenses in the National Football League. We've talked ad nauseum about the CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens combo. I think that's going to be a very good combo. But the defensive side of football, to me, is going to predicate if Dak Prescott is going to be one of these guys that's going to have to be a gunslinger this upcoming season.
Dominique Foxworth, we're bringing you in here on this. Dak Prescott, what do you make of him in 2025, and what can he do with this Dallas Cowboys team?
Yeah, I do think it's going to be a ton of pressure on Dak to get the job done and outscore opposing offenses and make the best of the George Pickens additions. I think George Pickens has shown that he's incredibly talented, but he hasn't consistently had the type of quarterback play that I think Dak Prescott could provide. So I think what the Cowboys are offensively is one of the kind of black boxes in that division right now, because if George Pickens turns out to be as incredible as he can be on some plays for an entire game because he has a good quarterback, I think this team is definitely formidable. I'm not saying that they're going to dominate people, but if they get a lead, then you got Micah Parsons to deal with on the other side. I think this team could create some trouble in that division.
Kevin Clark, the Dallas Cowboys, new head coach, new defensive coordinator. How do these coaching changes help this team?
How do they help? I don't know. They may not help. They may have been the wrong hire. I don't know if many people around the league saw Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach 6 months ago. Jerry Jones did. The good news for him is this roster is still intact. It's still good. Dak Prescott has the capability to play at an MVP level. The receivers are set. I just have questions about what their entire operation is. I don't think that they're very talented looking at the rest of this division. The Eagles roster is much better, and Jaden Daniels and the Commanders have more momentum. So they're the third best team in this division.
There's a team we have not mentioned yet that also play in this division that play in this area right here. It's the New York Giants. Kevin, coming right back to you. Eli Manning was on the show earlier this week, and he was talking about how Russell Wilson should start the entire season if he's playing well, and that's a good situation for Jackson Dart. Your thoughts on the theory that Russ gets the ball and not Jackson Dart week one out of the gates?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Eli Manning knows a whole heck of a lot more about being the Giants quarterback than I do. But when I look at this season, this is job preservation for Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. That's job one, okay? By the way, that's everybody. I'm just trying to get one more day out of this gig. You know, everybody's just trying to survive in advance. But for them, they have to have 9 wins, 10 wins, or proof of concept with Jackson Dart to say, hey, this is going to progress next season. We can't mess this up. So I would start Jackson Dart immediately and let him see what he has.
Okay, Jackson Dart starting immediately. Harry Douglas, your response to that?
Hell no. Not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Won't do it.
No, I don't see, why are we rushing to start Jackson Dart? When you have 2 veteran quarterbacks in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in that room. Now, I can probably see it if we didn't have those veteran guys in there, but allow him to get acclimated to the National Football League, to learn how to be a pro, to understand what it means to study tape from a game perspective. And also, when I look at their schedule, I don't want them going toe-to-toe right off the bat with Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. And then when you look across the National Football League, right, and you look at starting quarterbacks, so when I look at Drake May, who didn't start right away, but everyone is high on him. When I look at Lamar Jackson, who didn't start right away, but has won 2 MVPs. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, who sat an entire year, and he is the standard in the National Football League, and the list goes on and on and on. You can mention Jordan Love, you can mention Jalen Hurts, you can mention a lot of other guys. Allow this guy to be primed, to be sizzled. Allow him to bake a little bit, like my baked chicken in the oven. I don't want it cooked fast. Allow it to process. Allow him to get acclimated to the National Football League. Don't start him right away.
D. Wood, get in here.
I'm just going to be nuanced about it. I think when the young man is ready. I think, that's why training camp is so important. Training camp will tell you, I've always said you can't fool the players. And so when we see players see all the snaps in training camp, they know who the guy is. We know who Russell Wilson is. We know who Jameis Winston is. But if Jackson Dart comes out in training camp and shows that he can handle that, then you put him in and you don't look back. And that's it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am your host, S. Dot, and you have reached your Sports Minute. So we appreciate everybody for showing up. Before we jump into the topics of today, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe, and most of all, please leave a comment. So, number 1 topic of today is your boy Von Miller signing a 1-year deal with the Commanders. And also, will the Commanders come back down to earth from that little spark that they had from last year? So me, first of all, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, factually, Von Miller's a good player. He's not who he used to be, but he was in the top, you know what I'm saying, the top rank last year for his position. Him signing with the Commanders and what that's going to do for him, is definitely going to elevate their defensive line. And I mean, it'll probably definitely elevate, you know what I'm saying, the morale on the defensive side of the ball. As far as the Commanders being a contender, I think right now they're doing what they need to do to become contenders. Are they contenders this year? I don't see them being like true contenders. I think last year was a flash in the pan, and even the squad that they had couldn't jump on to the flash that they had, which is why the veteran players didn't step up. You know what I'm saying? If you guys can understand what I'm saying. I'm not hating, and I'm giving props where props is due. The Commanders did good last year. Von Miller is a great acquisition. And the things that the Commanders have been doing is definitely looking better. But as far as being contenders in the NFC East with my boys, the Philadelphia Eagles, and you know what I'm saying, dealing with the Cowboys and of course the Giants picking up who they picked up. I see the Commanders, you know what I'm saying, being number two. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Commander fans, go ahead and chime in and let everybody know what you guys think you're gonna do this year. You guys think you're gonna be contenders? You guys think you're gonna go far? Or you know what I'm saying, do you think the Commanders need more work? You know what I'm saying? Do they need more big names? You know what I mean? Hit the comment section up, let me know what you think. All right, so moving on. So the next topic of discussion is can the Eagles ride Saquon Barkley to the Super Bowl again? You guys definitely know what I'm gonna say. We we're definitely gonna ride him back to the Super Bowl. Like your boy Harry Douglas said. We got the number one defensive line in the league. We have we have the number one running back in the league. We got a top five QB. That's right. I said a top five QB in the league. We got one of the number one receivers in the league. But let's talk about it. Will we ride Saquon back to the Super Bowl? No, Saquon's going to ride our defensive line back to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is going to ride our defensive line back to the Super Bowl. You guys got to understand, man. If you have an offensive line like we have, you can't stop a team from scoring. If you have an offensive line like we got, you can't stop a running back from getting multiple home run touchdowns like Saquon did last year. I mean, I'm not just saying that because we won the Super Bowl, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I'm saying it because it's facts. You guys take a look at it, man. Look at the teams that have won Super Bowls with a number one offensive line. It's factual. Eagle fans, hit the comments up, man. Let me know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Let the world know that yes, we're gonna ride Saquon back to the Super Bowl. Yes, Jalen Hurts, a top five quarterback, is definitely going to repeat. AJ Brown is definitely going to step his game up from last year, even though he was a top receiver. You know what I'm saying? And the offensive line is definitely going to be the beast that they have been. Just like Green Bay, who tries to take away a play because they can't figure it out. That's a team that wants to spend time getting something taken from the game that works for one team instead of figuring out how they can get it to work for their own team. That's pretty sad, man. Green Bay Packer fans, man. I would feel ashamed to be a Green Bay Packer fan right now. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a bitch move, like straight like that. And you can call it what it is, but that's a bitch move. Instead of trying to get your squad up to par to either make that play your own or find out how to defend it with your money, you're gonna try to use the league office to take the play out of the sport so that one squad who is great at it can't use it to whoop your behinds anymore. Sad but true. But yeah, we gonna repeat this year, and you can take that to the bank for sure. But let's check out what else is on the agenda for today. All right. So of course, we got to move right on in to those Cowboys because they hate us the most. You feel me? Um, and the topic is do Cowboys do the Cowboys need Dak Prescott to be at an MVP level to make the playoffs? This not even the Super Bowl. Because let me tell you something. They're not even going to sniff the Super Bowl. The question is, will they be able to make the playoffs? They picked up some good receivers. I forgot old boy's name, but you know who I'm talking about. Um, but one thing the Cowboys are missing is your boy Dak Prescott has been hurt. What, the last three out of the last four seasons? He hasn't been that elite player since the last time he was MVP. You feel me? And just because they picked up George Pickens, uh, they feel like they will make the playoffs. I mean, I can tell you one thing: if the Cowboys do everything right this season that they're supposed to do, but they don't get that offensive line corrected, they're not even going to get out of the playoffs. Talking about make the playoffs. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. They're not even going to get to the playoffs. Talking about making it out of the playoffs. You feel me? Dallas needs to get that offensive line together because they cannot stop the run for nothing. You feel me? And of course, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to run all over top of them like we always do. But you know what I'm saying, your boy Damian Woody put out there the last time he was, you know what I'm saying, Dak Prescott was healthy, like I said, he played at an MVP level. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been healthy in the last 4 seasons. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dallas fans. Go ahead and hit the comment section up. Let me know what I'm, you know what I'm saying. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. Go ahead and correct me and give me those facts. You feel me? But yeah, I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. They got a brand new coach who has never coached a team before. You got a brand new coach who wasn't even looked at as being a head coach. He just came out of nowhere. Schottenheimer. No one even thought about Schottenheimer being a head coach. Come on, bro. Let's be real. Do you really think that's gonna go far? Let me know in the comments what y'all feel. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Will the Cowboys make it to the playoffs if Dak Prescott plays at an MVP level? Or is it just over with for Dak Prescott? I mean, I know they picked up George Pickens, but that's not enough. And the question is, will George Pickens play at an elite level himself? I mean, you know, when he was with the Steelers, he had his moments, but will that be enough? Will that be enough? Will the chemistry be enough? And your boy Michael Parsons. I mean, can anybody tell me what's going on with that? I've said it once and I'll say it again. If a team really wants you, they will pay you. If a team really thinks you make that much of a difference, they will pay you. There is no reason for us to be this far into the next season, this close to the season starting, and your boy Michael Parsons, as of the 16th of July, still has not got a contract signed. Dallas fans, let me know what's going on because I'm out here not understanding. Your boy Michael Parsons still has not gotten paid, still has not signed a contract for that big money. If a team really wants you and thinks you make that much of a difference, they will pay you instantly. Instantly. Look at Miles. Miles got paid all that money just like that because the Browns did not want people like the Philadelphia Eagles acquiring Miles. So what they do, they took him off the market by making him sign a huge contract instantly, immediately, not waiting months and months and months close to the next season starting, and you still ain't got your money. You feel me? Something ain't right here. I don't get it. But I think Michael Parsons will be traded. I mean, that's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, but I think Michael Parsons is definitely not going to be with the Cowboys starting this season. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but hey, I also could be right because he don't have a contract yet, correct? Is that facts? If that's not factual, let me know in the comments. You feel me? But that's just me. And of course, we got to move on to the New York Giants. And the question of today is, will Russell Wilson be the starting quarterback, or do they need to start Dart? I mean, they still got Jameis Winston. Me, my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I think they need to start Jameis Winston. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. You feel me? He's got nothing to lose. Russell Wilson has a lot to lose. Jackson Dart has a lot to lose. But I feel like Jameis Winston is in a place right now where he's just playing for the love of the sport. You feel me? He's just playing for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? And when you can play just for the love of the game and not to prove anything and not for a contract and not for money, not saying he don't want to check, but I think his will to play for the love of the game is more than the will for what Russell Wilson is trying to do. He is an image to uphold. Jackson Dart, he's a rookie. He has to come in the game and prove himself. You feel me? So I think they need to start Jameis Winston. Giant fans, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Would you prefer Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, or Russell Wilson start this season and play the entire season? That's the question they're asking right now. Should Russell Wilson start and play the entire season? That means if he's screwing up, that means if he's playing great, that means if he's 50%, play him the entire season. I think if they do play him and he plays poorly like he did when he was with the Steelers, yank his ass. You feel me? Put Jameis Winston in and let him ball out. Jackson Dart, I think he needs to sit and I think he needs to watch. I think he needs to sit, watch, and get acclimated to the NFL. You feel me? I don't think he needs that pressure right now. He's a hell of a baller, but I think he needs to, you know what I'm saying, just watch. You feel me? And get himself acclimated to this sport. Because this is definitely next level. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think. Uh, Go ahead and make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a subscribe, of course. But the main thing we want you guys to do is to leave a comment. That's the one thing that keeps the channel going is conversation, debate. You know what I'm saying? Giving your opinion so someone else can give their opinion and keep that conversation going. But we definitely appreciate everything you guys have done. We appreciate all our subscribers and we appreciate all the likes. And we just appreciate you guys if you're just stopping by. But like I said, I am your boy S. Dot. This is your sports. And we'll catch y'all on the next round, all right? Peace.